The bolter is easily one of the, if not the most iconic weapon of 40k. Darktide's rendition of it is excellent, and in this video I'm going to show you how to turn bad guys into meat showers as efficiently as possible. The strongest bolter build in the game is one that makes use of the two best veteran feats, being both counterfire and unwavering focus. Chaining counterfire with a bolter might seem counterintuitive at first due to its very slow reload speed, but it is manageable with the correct build and a little tech. First of all, what makes counterfire and unwavering focus so strong? Counterfire allows you to keep volley fire up as long as there are priority targets alive. Designating shooters as priority targets means you can clear entire rooms filled with shooters while under the effects of volley fire. This is invaluable, as volley fire makes you immune to stuns, suppression, interruptions, and slowdowns, as well as reducing your weapon's recoil, spread, and sway. It also lets you one-tap shooters even on arm shots past a certain range. Being able to clear shooters efficiently as a veteran is just as important as killing specials, and volley fire is a massive boost to your efficiency. The other two talents in that row can't compete with how efficient it makes you at removing priority targets. You don't need to be killing Ogrins any quicker, and the instant reload might seem like a good pick at first, but it can't be overstated how much more efficient volley fire makes you at doing your job. Sacrificing near permanent uptime on it just for one instant reload just isn't worth it, and the toughness gained on activation isn't nearly as strong as maintaining unwavering focus and occasionally making use of confirmed kill to replenish your toughness. Unwavering focus makes you practically invulnerable during volley fire, as long as your toughness isn't broken. Counterfire lets you keep this near immortality as long as you've got targets to shoot. I don't believe in taking Camo Expert, as that talent forces you to stand still, potentially harming your counterfire chaining potential by denying targets you'd have access to by repositioning. It also redirects all enemy aggro towards your teammates, which is just not cool. Anything that promotes a passive playstyle and immobility is a bad pick in my book. Confirmed kill pairs very well with counterfire and unwavering focus, letting you further maintain your quasi-immortality by killing an elite or special enemy, which happens to be your specialty. Greatness comes at a cost, however. In order to make the bolter really shine, we need to invest in both reload speed feats. Losing Demolition Stockpile is especially painful. The interaction between one after another and tactical reload is invaluable to keep counterfire going between reloads. You only have 5 seconds to get another kill in order to refresh counterfire, and those reload feats let you get as much time as possible out of that window. You can technically chain counterfire without those feats in a vacuum, but in practice it will be very difficult and inconsistent. Here is a comparison of all possible combinations of reload speed feats. One after another doesn't have a duration. It automatically makes your next reload 30% faster. On the topic of reload speed, even a low roll on a bolter without a reload speed perk can keep counterfire up. One last feat recommendation, which is more of a general one. Please take Demolition Team. I know bioptic targeting sounds like it's helpful, but it really is not. It won't make your teammates any less oblivious, and it doesn't accomplish anything a little voice communication could not. Replenishing grenades is a life changer for Zealots and Ogrins, and is the difference between having no grenades and having infinite grenades. If you want to help out your team, this is the way to do it. For this bolter build, it's also your only source of regenerating grenades. With your talent resorted, it's time to get onto the weapon itself. I mentioned earlier that they were stacked to the bolter. You can skip the recoil reset animation by quickly letting go of right click and immediately right clicking again. And you can skip part of the reload animation by tapping sprint right as your magazine is full. With this forbidden knowledge freshly acquired, here's what you need to know to make the most of the bolter. The bolter is capable of shooting straight through very thin pieces of cover. It has damage ramp up, meaning it does gradually higher damage to more distant enemies, capping out at 40 meters. It can open bulwarks with a single shot, provided your stopping power is high enough. Opening them up before unloading into them is always more efficient than straight up mag dumping. It's best used like a precision weapon. You'll be spending most of your time aiming down sights, chaining one-shot kills. Be sure to nab at least one elite or special kill before your next reload, and avoid empty reloads. An important skill to learn is spacing out shotgunner kills when clearing scab stalker patrols, as stalkers won't keep your counterfire going. Building a bolter is fairly straightforward. Make sure your stopping power is high enough to open a bulwark with a single shot. Aim for above 50%. Damage versus flak is very important, as it lets you one-shot body shot shotgunners while in volley fire. Note that this breakpoint only works after a certain range, unless you have a perfect bolter with 80 damage and plus 25 against flak, but more on that later. This isn't a deal breaker, but having it is a nice improvement. It also lets you one-shot scab shooters in the arm while in volley fire, even at point blank. And unarmored lets you do the same to drag shooters. Getting arm one-shots at close range isn't a necessity, but it's good to know you can achieve it. Arm shots in general don't matter much on the bolter due to its torso priority, meaning that if you hit the arm but the torso is directly behind it, it will count as a hit on the torso. Damage versus Maniac is always good to have to boost your mutant DPS. Here are some comparisons to let you decide if you think reload speed is worth grabbing. Damage against Unyielding lets you take down bulwarks and monsters quicker. Personally, I would recommend taking Flak and Maniac, as I don't think the reload speed boost helps that much with maintaining counterfire. As for blessings, Shattering Impact lets you delete crushers, and Pinning Fire helps with deleting mass deletes mixed in a horde, as well as removing bulwarks. Every shot against a bulwark, including the one that opens them up, will add a stack of Pinning Fire. And remember that shotgunner breakpoint I mentioned earlier? If you don't have a bolter with 80 damage and plus 25 against flak, you can still get a one-shot body shot at close range thanks to Pinning Fire. Assuming you've shot a couple guys before the shotgunner, he should be dead even at point blank. The other blessings just won't do much for you on a bolter. And that's all you need to make the most out of this fantastic weapon. Have fun turning shooters into fountains of gore. A big thanks to my beloved duo partner Meme Mastodon69 for demonstrating what a bolter counterfire build could do, as well as helping with the script for this video. Check his channel out for some bolter POVs of our duo runs. If you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe, as there's a lot more I plan to cover when it comes to Darktide.